Welcome to St. Louis, where it's a Hyperdrive 1-2. Catfish from second in points down Sanchez. Then comes Bastian Tan, Casanova Cornwell, and Magic starting fifth from Carlos Fernandez, Star, and Takeyoshi Nishimoto. Zach Sheedy starts ninth from Guillermo Perez, and Akari Lopez returning to the ERL, followed by Kushma Thur and Alex Tavia. Then comes Reina Cerulis, Marcloud 9, and Joshua Spence. Mario Kloske starts 17th from Dominic Vancelau and Escoto Copter. Silky starts 20th from Victor Levi and Enoch Yu. Then comes the back row, Arnold Yu and Tommy Yu. The 8th round of the ERL IndyCar Series takes us to St. Louis, Illinois. Awful Catfish from the pole. Can he get another race win en route to an IndyCar championship? We're underway. And it's a great getaway there from Tommy Yu on the back of the pack. Sanchez getting really close to his teammate as they come through turn number 1, but the 2 car holds the race lead. They're all as they were in the top 3 as we ride on board with the 22 of Bastian Tan. They hop over the curbs, and that's a flying Carlos Fernandez moving up into 4th place there. Sanchez unable to challenge his teammate. Here comes Bastian Tan going around the outside to take 2nd position as they come through turn number 4. But out in front, it is still Awful Catfish who has the lead. Silky, oh, that's a big spin there. Kloske, and that is a flying Silky there in the number 99 car. And he is out of the race. Kloske and Victor Levi also in the wall there. Cautions coming out on this opening lap. And the big news, of course, coming from Power Motorsport. Car number 10, Akari Lopez, back in business for the team. The Filipino driver, of course, winning the Season 15 Formula E Championship, doing some great work in Power Motorsport's Champ Car efforts last season. Levi, by the way, guys, is also out of the race. So when it was announced that Davi Circularo was going to immediately leave the ERL as a whole, it was between this man and another guy that they had waiting in the wings, and well, Akari's resume was just too good to pass up on a team who, to be honest, have not had a great start to the season at all, with 2 drivers who certainly couldn't help the team's dire issues. We're about to get back underway here in St. Louis, Illinois. It's a Hyperdrive 1-2, as it is in the championship, by the way, guys. Catfish and Sanchez could both crash out of this race and they would still be 1st and 2nd in the championship. That's just how good their start to the season has been. Kloske dives down into the pits from 22nd. Bastian gets back past the 72. And Sanchez just not looking very happy coming through that opening part of the track. Cornwell giving former teammate Nishimoto a bit of a tap on the rear wheel there as they make their way through the hairpin. Tommy Yu's had a very good start, up to 18th place already then for the Hong Kong driver. Make that 17th as he flies past Joshua Spence. And a very good rookie Formula E season. Meanwhile, up in front, Catfish has had an absolute shocker of a final sector. Sanchez taking the lead from Bastian Tan. The 22 gets back past. We've got a caution. That's for Enoch Yu. Whoa! Arnold Yu involved in that as well. The 25 spins it back onto the road. The 29 having severe issues there, side by side, however, for the lead as we go on to lap number 3. Bastian on the outside of his countryman, and he'll take that race lead immediately. Bastian Tan to the lead. Catfish comes down into the pits. He'll drop down to, I believe, last place. And yes, it will be lost as Enoch Yu now passes pit lane. My oh my, what a fight for the race lead between these 2. Bastian Tan, Fred Carpenter Racing, looking for a win as Guillermo Perez has been involved in an incident there. That is too many cars down at turn 4. Surely they're going to have to stop the race as Escoto Copter goes out. Full course caution is called. Both of the junior motorsports cars involved in that. The Menard of Guillermo Perez, Dominic Vancelau, Arnold Yu's just come up to this. And I think Catfish is very glad that a red flag was not flown there. Because if a red was flown, he would have to be 20th on the restart with everyone getting fresh tires. we're green here in St. Louis, where that back hairpin has already shown a lot of issues from many drivers. The three of Guillermo Perez holding up a lot of the pack there. I think he'll have to let Catfish go by. Around the outside goes the two, and RQ going by as well. 29 seemingly with no hope. A lot of drivers now coming down into pit lane at the end of lap 4. That's a big spin for Tommy Yu as he miraculously gets it into the pits. No, he's out. Tommy Yu is out of this race, down in the pits. Perfect timing if you're an Akari Lopez or a Daf Sanchez. In fact, thanks to that 5-second time penalty, Lopez is in front of Daf Sanchez. That 10 car has actually been pretty rapid today. In fact, he's third out of the pits behind Cheaton and net race leader Vasti Town. Awful Catfish has just had the worst case scenario then. He's down in 15th. That's a net 6th place or so. Because Mathur and Spencer and you, they're all yet to stop. Look at Cornwell on the back of Joshua Spence. Heading down into turn number 4, you can see Catfish trying to close into this. Cornwell goes by him. The two of Awful Catfish still looking for a pass of the two Good Hearts then, ready to duel over 11th. Well, that's a very short duel. Cornwell just flying on by his teammate. It's a 1-2 for Colin Buzz out in front. Look at Kvyat going side by side with Rainer Cerulis. Here comes Zach Sheehan to 6th place, and it's a big spin there. That's Akari spinning down the road. Cerulis is out. The Latvian has been awarded the 5-second time penalty in that incident. It's just more bad news for a Power Motorsport team that needs anything but major front wing damage for Akari. Surely they'll pull him in. And once again, a perfectly timed caution. Nishimoto and Magic, they both come down into the pits. Carlos Fernandez will inherit the race lead here. Star dives down into the pits. Zach Sheehan was just flying there. Made one of the best passes we've seen in quite some time. I think that was 4 wide though. So of course the caution was just gonna happen. It was inevitable as we're heading down this back stretch into turn number 4. Sanchez looking for a pass as Kloske getting a 5-second time penalty. Contact with Perez. Sanchez moving up into 3rd place. That's a net P2, and in fact, due to how heavy the tire wear's been today, that might actually just be a net P1 if Sheehan can't bring it home. It's a caution. Kloske is out of the race. Perez involved as he spins it back on the road and is out. Arnold Yu hitting the Menard car. And it's, again, a full course yellow in St. Louis. And Fernandez is not looking too quick there. Is that a rear puncture? Is that? No. But single-digit tire percentage for the Spaniard who leads this race. He needs to get that Colin Buzz number 37 into the pits as quickly as possible. Bastian is nowhere near the back of this leading pack. We're green again here in St. Louis with 9 laps to go. Sheehan getting alongside with Fernandez, making the pass very quickly and leaving Sanchez to the curb. Zach Sheehan takes the lead of the St. Louis Grand Prix as that's a big spin off the road for Bastian and for Cornwell. You can see the front wing damage for the 22 as a caution comes out for an RQ Kushmather involved in that prior incident. The 48 trying to get that car back on the road. Sheehan came in on that lap. Fernandez also down into the pits. Cornwell staying out. I think Bastian, yes, the 22 still in this race. Must be wondering what on earth happened there for that spin to be as bad as it was. But with 8 laps to go, look at the state of Awful Catfish's mediums. Surely from 3rd place he's going to have to pit again. Sanchez leads this race. Nishimoto with the fastest lap. And he's closing in on the 72. These two have already had a few tangles throughout their short career together in IndyCar, despite being in separate teams. And still right behind him is that number 18. Kushmather comes in and will serve that 5-second time penalty. That battle for the spots in the Indy 500 will be very much short after. 5-second time penalty for Arnold Yu, and for Zach Sheehan, who looked as if he could go on to win this race. It's going to be a lot harder when he's got a 5-second time penalty to his name. Carlos Fernandez, with the fastest second sector of anyone, flies on past the two of Awful Catfish, who's medium compound tires, sorry. Still not looking too good. The top four, in fact, all on hards. And Sheehan's actually fought his way back up into the leading pack quite nicely. With the freshest hards of any of the top four, this should be light work for the Forsyth driver. In that number 83 car, Nishimoto, however, in the 18, flies up into the race lead. Sheehan moves up into third, almost touches the back of that hyperdrive right in front of him. The rookie out there thinks better of the pass and will go to the lead as Nishimoto slows. Zach Sheehan from Lithuania is back up into the race lead here in St. Louis, Illinois. We ride on board with the 72 of Daf Sanchez. And he's dealing with a magic problem. The 91 getting run on by. Joshua Spence getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. But it is Zach Sheehan at the head of the pack from Nishimoto and Magic. Daf Sanchez with the oldest hard compound tires of the top four. Obviously not doing too good as a caution comes out, and it's for Star and Kvyat. Into the wall there is the other Forsyth car, Kvyat, Alex Kvyat in the 14, seemingly tangled up in that crash as well. Zach Sheehan has missed pit entry, but I'm sure he didn't want to go down into the pits. With 6 to go, Magic comes in. Nishimoto, Sanchez, they're all down into the pits. Most of the field running on hards, with the only man out there on a different compound being Carlos Fernandez. Sanchez onto a set of softs. Can't do 6 laps on those though, so is probably expecting a red flag of some sort. Magic and Nishimoto onto a set of mediums as they come out of the pits. This is definitely gonna be one of those races where you've got no clue who's gonna win it until the checkered flag falls. It's great when we've got such tense and exciting racing in the ERL, in my opinion. With 6 to go, Sheehan at the head of the pack. Nishimoto getting a time penalty. That's contact with Magic. And unfortunately, that might just take the Japanese driver out of the race win conversation. Gotta talk about Maya Shank though. That 9 car of Dominic Vansalau on strategy alone, up in 6th place. Look at Akari holding off Casanova in that 24, who almost runs into the back of Awful Catfish. That 2 car now holding up the rest of the points paying positions. Cornwell certainly getting frustrated under the hood of that number 24. He knows he should have multiple race wins under his belt already from the start of this season. We know that. It's just not come to fruition for the British driver, and he's just had to let the hyperdrive go by. Here comes the Carlin Buzz 37. Carlos Fernandez takes the lead in St. Louis. Look at the amount of wiggling he's doing coming out of turn 4. Nishimoto versus Magic. The Spaniard will take 3rd on this occasion. I got a lot of passes happening. Sheehan. Look at Zach Sheehan. He's not giving this one up yet. Even with the state of those hard compound tires, he wants to lead this race. At the 5 to go mark, the 83 looking to the outside, they touch. A 10-second time penalty for the rookie Lithuanian. And I think with that, he's just going to have to let off. Surely he can't keep going like this. But maybe those penalties might eat into his mind, tell him that he's got nothing left to lose. Cloud 9 fighting over 9th then with Bastien Tan. Sheehan and Fernandez both coming in. Magic will take the lead with 4 laps to the white. Bastien goes around the outside of the Junior Motorsports number 12 and will take 9th position. And Magic now looking for some to get back past Takeyoshi Nishimoto. I think the top 3 still have another pit to go. As I said when they came in, I think it might be a lot harder for Fernandez, for Sheeden, all those guys to get it to the end, but it might still be possible. Magic squirming on the back of that Carlin Buzz car powered by Toyota Gazoo Racing. And that 18 needing to be very wary of Magic, who's still right behind him in that 91. We ride on board with the Spaniard. Sanchez is actually closing in on this battle for the lead. Does he want to go for the lunge? No, he will not. As they come through this final chicane, that's wide, almost into the wall. Somehow Magic saves it and turns it into a race-leading overtake. Magic leads this race here in St. Louis. They're actually closing up to Cushman at this point in time. The X44 car involved in an Ocuse incident. Sanchez will come in and strap on a set of medium compound tires, which will see him to the checkered flag. But potentially when he comes out of the pits, I don't know if it will still be top 8. He will be in front of Akari Lopez. But just about, we ride on board with the 10, who is looking to get some good points on the board for Power Motorsport. Surely, with similar performances like this, Akari will get that power team into the Indy 500. Zach Sheeden getting past Awful Catfish now, the championship leader, in 5th place. Not had the best of days, nor has he had truly the worst of days. Vastian Tan in that 22. On the back of Joshua Spence, there goes Casanova Cornwell, past both. Vastian gets past the 17. Magic and Nishimoto both come down into the pits. 2 to go. Carlos Fernandez from Spain leads from Zach Sheeden, an Awful Catfish. The Malaysian driver is looking to extend that championship lead, but the best tires belong to the 72. That's Magic coming out of the pits in 3rd though. A flyer of a pit stop from the Menards crew puts the Spaniard in 3rd place. Sanchez has gotten past Kvyat. The 72 looks to try and get past his teammate. Almost runs into the back of him. They go side by side, heading down into turn number 4, and before they reach the braking point, Daf Sanchez is up into 4th position and is free to chase after the podium. Akari Lopez moves up into 7th position in front of Moncloud 9 in the 12 for Junior Motorsports. Alex Kvyat is looking for something as out of the race then for the 12. Nishimoto in the 18 car getting another time penalty as he's just come out of the pits. His teammate leading this race. And will Fernandez make it to pit lane before the cautions end? Casual reminder on how the red flags work. Just been told to tell you this in the ear as Fernandez doesn't come in. And we are now green again in St. Louis for the penultimate lap of this race. If the red flag comes out on lap 14, I do believe we will go straight to the checker as it's out for Magic. Sanchez moves up into 2nd place. Magic is out of this race. Sheeden with major front wing damage. I believe the pit lane is closed. Kvyat will be 4th here. And I don't believe any of what I'm seeing. Kvyat's hit 0 in the AJ point number 14. It's a full car puncture then for the rookie. We go green. Akari struggling with tires too. Front puncture for Awful Catfish as he comes in. And for Alex Kvyat, it looked like it would have been good points for the AJ Foyt crew. Has to let Nishimoto go by very quickly. He's going to have to let this entire gaggle of cars fly by him too. There goes Spence. Catfish and Arnold Yu, the other cars remaining in this race. For Carlos Fernandez, he's going to have to hope and pray that his tires will hold on. And hope and pray that Sanchez doesn't close up. Kvyat letting Catfish go by then. As we are about to go on to the current lap, 1 to go here in St. Louis, Illinois. Carlos Fernandez for Carl and Buzz Racing is trying to hold off Daf Sanchez. He's trying to hold on to his Firestone mediums. It's looking to be a very good result on the road for Carl and Buzz. 9 seconds the margin out in front. Surely a lot of tire management going on for that team. We ride on board with the 25 of Arnold Yu, and he gets past Kvyat. Thankfully, the number 14 is probably going to be put a lap down here. And I think, looking at that tire percentage, it's 8% for the 37. That right in front is Alex Kvyat. Gets out of the way. 5 seconds. That's all there is in it for this race lead and for the win in St. Louis. It's come down to this. Fernandez just trying to bring it home. He hits 2%. Arnold Yu's had enough. Spins off the road. Does the rookie in the opening sector. But for Carlos Fernandez, he doesn't care about that. He's just won in St. Louis. Carlos Fernandez will win the St. Louis Grand Prix. And by 2 seconds, my oh my, did he keep that one interesting. Akari's tyres blue. Vansalal's tyres blue as well. There goes Joshua Spence's. My goodness me, I think Cornwell's going to come home with a podium here. If he can keep it within 5 seconds, he has. So he denies Carl and Buzz Racing of a 1-3. My oh my. Imagine the ramifications on the championship of this entire event. Arnold Yu's going to come home with a stormer of a finish thanks to all of these tires blowing up. No one from 9th down managed to not have a puncture there. There goes the 83's tires, who we thought was going to be a major player in this race. Joshua Spence actually letting Sheeden go by. Very interesting to see that. And my, oh my, is Carlin back. Fantastic work then from that team to get, I believe, a 1-4 on the board at the end of round 8. And Akari Lopez on return. Honestly, this might be some of the fastest laps that this Power Motorsport IndyCar team has run in the ERL 03s. I feel like the main Power Motorsport Formula E team might need this man next season if he were to not set up Pinnacle Motorsport again, get them back and ready to race. Because the main issue for that crew is just not having an entry. Here is your podium, everybody. Carlos Fernandez on top for Carl and Buzz Racing, followed by Daf Sanchez and Casanova Cornwell. Honestly, a fantastic race. A fantastic finish to the race as well. We thought Sanchez could have closed up, especially with all of those tires going pop. But Carlos just about brought it home. As for the rest of your finishes, you'll see them on the other side. And here are the official results of today's race. Fernandez taking the win from Sanchez and Cornwell, who took on the fastest lap. Then comes Takeyoshi Nishimoto, Bastian Tan, and Arthur Catfish, Kushmathur, Arnold Yu, Zach Sheeden, and Joshua Spence, with Lopez, Vansalau, and Kvyat being the last of your finishes. Everyone else was unable to see the checkered flag of today's St. Louis Grand Prix. And for Sanchez, that second place in comparison to his teammates' sixth, well, it's not enough for him to take the lead in the Drivers' Championship. However, that gap up front in the Drivers' Championship is now only 2 points. Catfish still leads from Sanchez and Nishimoto. Cornwell's overtaken Kvyat to go up into fourth. Then comes Star, Magic, Silky, Arnold Yu, Carlos Fernandez, your top 10 from Bastian Tan, Joshua Spence, Kushma third, Rainer Cerulis, Zach Sheeden, Mario Kloske, Perez, Enoch Yu, Dominic Vanslau, Tommy Yu, Sir Curera, Moncloud 9, Victor Levi, Escato Copter, and Akari Lopez. The 25 drivers have started at least one race throughout this season. And we should see 6 more added to this list come Indy 500, which is only 4 rounds away. And for the teams and drivers, well, they need to do a lot of catching up to Hyperdrive Racing, who lead by 76 points in the Constructors' Championship in front of Carl and Buzz, who have rocketed up into second position. Goodhart Racing are third from AJ Foyt and Team Forsyth. Then comes Team Menard and Panther Racing, and those 7 teams are the teams I'd say are pretty much safe into the 500. Junior Motorsports are 8th from Ed Carpenter Racing, and then the guys who won't make it through, X44 Power and Maya Shank Racing. Well then, we've got some more ERL action for you on the other side of this IndyCar broadcast. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns.